now tuned into Urban Voice Media.
Guys, welcome back to the Roundtable Session. Today we're in Shelby, North Carolina at Brook here in Shelby Golf Course. This is the place where Miss Byrd cooked for over 17 years. We will be talking with her momentarily in reference to her transition from cooking here every day to cooking at home 7 days a week now. Buckle up, it's very passionate. All that more on the Roundtable Session. Miss Byrd, first I want to say thank you for inviting us to your home, your lovely home. And one thing I want to say before we get started, deep into the conversation. You know a cook when you go to the cook's house and you see pots and pans on the stove. Now, is that just for decoration?
No,
It ain't.
pots. No, I use them pots.
All right. Miss Byrd, I ran across an email, or actually a post that your daughter had posted in reference to you working at what was once Brook. Brook. Was it cafe or restaurant or?
It was a restaurant still.
And now it's owned by
Mulligan's for the last year and a half.
And the story I read it was very touching. It talked about how new management came in and took over and things changed, which is natural. When someone take over, they wanted to be their way. But it went their way in a different turn and twist.
Yeah.
To where some racial things were spoken, said, and actually implemented.
Yes.
What happened?
Well, like I say, I was the last black person in the kitchen. I was the last one there, right? So Wayne was out there one Sunday.
Now Wayne, he's
the boss man.
He the one who owns it now?
He the one that leased it.
Okay.
Him and his wife. Him, not his wife, him and this other guy. But the other guy gone. But anyway, he was out on the golf course and he made that comment about he had got rid of all the blacks in the kitchen, so now the blacks wouldn't come out there and eat. And
so he didn't want blacks in his restaurant eating.
That was the
kind of what you felt.
That was what I felt like. That was what I felt like. That he didn't really want them there. And I mean, everybody's money is green.
Did he ever make you feel like, he had a problem with blacks?
But that's just it. He didn't. He didn't. It was just his wife. And she, like I said, she wouldn't even work on Sunday because all the black people come in there.
Now, how long have you known him and his wife?
About 16 years. Like I say, he used to be a member. I mean, he's still a member, but when he first come there, he only played golf for about 15 years. He was just a golfer.
And none out of those years?
We was really good friends.
Okay.
Me, him, and my daughter. He'd come in the kitchen, do stuff, we'd fix him stuff and everything. And like I say, he didn't change till he got this restaurant. And he just did a 360.
Now, had you met the wife prior to?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So what was the first change you seen that threw a red flag up for you?
Well, I tell you, I could tell that something was going on because, like I say, that lady that he hired as a chef, every day she come in, she'd go out there, her and Kim get in the corner. And I knew they was up to something, but I hadn't thought what it was since he had asked me to work 5 days in the grill. And so I just did away with it. I tried not to think about it, but I knew that something was going on. And come to find out, everybody out there had known it 3 months before I even found it out.
That they were getting rid of all the blacks?
Yeah. That he was, and the only way he could do that was cut the buffet out.
Now, by him saying it, or by them getting rid of all the blacks, did you guys know, did the blacks that was cooking know, or have a feeling, hey, they're going to get rid of us too? Did you feel that as well?
Well, see, they had already got rid of my daughters and things because we wasn't going to have a buffet.
Now, your daughters, they worked there how many years?
The same amount as I did.
Altogether 17 years?
Yeah. And
60.
they worked for him a year and a half, just like that. every day I worked, they worked with me every Sunday.
Now, what days did your daughters work there?
Sunday.
Just Sunday?
Yeah. My oldest daughter, Sheila, she worked with me on Saturday, having to do prep. But the other two only worked on Sunday.
But you worked there 5 days?
Yeah.
Wow. Now, prior to him asking you to work 5 days, how many days a week were you working?
Well, it different, you know. Therefore, a time at the end, he had given me Monday and Tuesday off, so I didn't have to work Monday and Tuesday. I worked Wednesday through Sunday, which was still 5 days, but
Right.
it was only.
Now, how was when you got laid off? How was it presented to you?
Well, I called him on the phone because I was want to know what time I was supposed to go, and was I supposed to go that Wednesday. So
You mean go to work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I called and called and called, and finally that evening he decided to call me back. And I asked him, I said, Wayne, what time do I come in the morning? He said, well, I decided to go another way. He said, because you was in my wife's face. I said, that's a lie. He said, and you was going over to the golf shop telling everybody what I made. That was another lie. And then he had the audacity to say, you too close to Lisa, which was my ex-boss lady. Because we talk on the phone and stuff all the time. She was just always friendly. You know, I mean, you be with somebody 17 years.
Yeah, you can't tell me who my friends can be.
And that's true. You can't tell me who to associate with.
Especially as long as you're doing your job correctly.
Oh, I did my job.
Now, did you see the business go downhill for the year and a half that you did work for Mulligan's?
Now, sometime, now the buffet didn't. The buffet never went down, but sometimes in the daytime, the golfers didn't come in.
Where normally they did come in.
Yeah.
And is that because maybe you weren't doing majority of the work? It was the other chef doing majority of the work?
No, she wasn't doing the breakfast and lunch. I did that all the time.
But what caused them?
It was mainly because of the way that they were treated somewhat by his wife. Not him, his wife. And so they just quit coming in there. A few of them come.
Well, I don't blame you. I don't care how good your food is. If you treat me recklessly, I mean, I don't want to have a happy day and have to come to your establishment and you turn my day up.
Yeah, that's true.
So normally when you would call him, would you have a hard time reaching him?
He'd always call me right back.
So, but that day that you called him, it took him a while to call you back.
It took him almost a whole day. Because he knew what I wanted. He didn't really want to tell me. But he didn't have no choice. He had to tell me because it was what he had changed to.
Did any of the other employees know that, hey, they weren't coming in no more?
That I wasn't coming in anymore.
So at the time that you was still working there, how many blacks were still working there?
None, just me at the end.
Wow.
Because see, he had already cut out the buffet, so my daughter and them didn't have no reason to come. Well, I take that back. Yeah, she would come and work 3 hours doing stuff for me, prep whatever I need to prep.
Well, since then, have they tried to reach back out to you to say? Well, let me ask you this right here. Have you heard how business is going now for Mulligan since you've been gone?
Yes, not well.
And they have not reached back out to you?
No, because they know better. They know me good enough to know I wouldn't come back for all the tea in China.
What would it take would you like to go back to there and work?
No.
Under different circumstance?
Yeah, under different management, I would go back. Yeah, if it was a different management.
Now, since that has happened, has any other restaurant, because a lot of people in Cleveland County, I'm sure they know you.
Yeah.
Have other restaurants tried to hire you?
Yeah, well, like you say, the lady at the park called me. Okay, Reverend Roseboro, he's a preacher at that big church down there, and they're opening up that old North Shelby school, and they're making a center out of it, and he wanted me to work in the kitchen on Sunday doing the buffet for him, just like I was doing, and he said, well, if you want to work any other day, you can work any other day too. Well, they hadn't finished yet.
Okay.
They're renovating.
Okay. Well, let's open the door and let the light shine that avenue opens for you. And I'm sure you would like to go back to Deer Brook because of the relationship you have with the people there.
Yeah.
And maybe you can build a relationship over there until time comes for something else.
That's what I had planned on doing. He asked me to come and help him tell, what, like dishes and stuff like that. So they were putting in the hood. He said he had 2 fryers. He said he had two coolers, 2 fryers, 2 warmers, and a big freezer. And they were putting in the hood that Monday. But they hadn't finished yet renovating because they had to do all of that.
Let's go back to Mulligan's. Out of all your years of cooking, I'm sure you've seen a lot of pots and pans get dirty and clean.
Yes.
Have you ever witnessed any type of atmosphere, what you went through over the last year and a half?
No. No, never. I worked in the restaurant 25 years. No, never. I worked in the hospital 9 years. And I worked at the country club 15 years during the same time I was working at the hospital that night.
But Miss Byrd, most white people will tell you racism isn't real. Most white people tell you that. And I try to tell people, you're a liar.
It's real.
You're living in denial. You don't want it to be real, but it's real. You just hadn't met that person who will show it to you.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that a place where you've been your whole life in cooking, over a year and a half you have to experience something to where they specifically tell you, 2023, I want no more black people eating in my establishment.
Well, he didn't exactly tell me. I had an anonymous phone call that would let me know what he had said. He wasn't going to tell me that.
Well, Miss Byrd, based on what you just said, if you do away with the buffet, you do away with the cooks who did the buffet, you don't want us there.
That's what it was. That was the reason.
Especially if we came for the buffet, you don't want us there.
That was what the whole thing in a nutshell was. And he said the reason why, because the people were wasting too much food. But I'm going to tell you why. And when they first started, I tried to tell them this. On Sunday, it's a lot of people. You got to open up both sides of that buffet. People don't want to stand in the line it out to the door when you only going down one side. But his wife wasn't satisfied, so she pushed it back up against the wall. So and when they only had one side to go down.
When he say wasting too much food, what do you mean?
Because like some of them they would probably get more than what they could eat because they didn't want to go back and stand in that long line.
I got you.
Whereas if it had been open for 2 lines, it would have went through much faster, and they probably wouldn't have mind going back.
What did you see as far as a menu change when they did away with the buffet? Did they try to make the food more gourmet or something to that versus soul food cooking?
Well, it was a menu change. Like some of the menus that I seen were different because she had to use what she knew how to cook, because she's the one doing it. She's doing plated lunches on Sunday after church, after 2 o'clock. church people done ate at 2 o'clock. They're not coming anyway at 2 o'clock. So, and she put in the on the internet about come get the good country cooking, but she don't cook country. So I don't even know why she put that on there.
Well, we talked earlier in reference to what type of gravy goes with chicken. Is it wise to put white gravy on chicken?
No. No. Definitely not.
I knew I would get you with that, Miss Byrd.
No, I would never put white gravy on my chicken.
Miss Byrd, what is it that you would like to see happen with dear Brook?
I'd like to see my ex-boss man and his wife take it back over where she can come back, or if they got somebody else in mind, which I think they have, if they would take it. But I'm not going to say who it is because I ain't want nobody to know it. Yeah, so I'm looking to be back pretty soon.
Okay. And we hope you do, because the community, I'm sure they miss you.
Yeah.
They need you, because that's one thing that's hard to find is good soul food restaurants. I mean, you see all the other restaurants popping up and everything, but the good soul food restaurants is hard to find them.
That's right, because I've been trying to eat some of the stuff from out. That's why I don't eat out much. I cook my own.
How difficult is it for you? Would you cooking soul food all your life?
It ain't difficult at all.
I mean, to eat other people's soul food.
Very seldom do I eat it. I eat at home. I cook my own food.
Because you can tell it's too salty, too sweet.
Yeah, and I have to be careful. I'm a diabetic. I have to know what's in things, you know, because I have to keep my weight down in order for. I've been taking that medicine now 23 years, and so far I've never had to go to insulin. So I prefer to cook my own food where I know exactly what's in it.
Let me ask you, Miss Byrd, that day he finally called you back. When you got off that phone, how did you feel?
I was mad. I was mad, and I was hurt because, like I say, me and him had been friends for years. You know, we had been friends for many years, and even he'll probably tell you that if he'll tell the truth.
You feel betrayed a little?
Yeah, I was betrayed. And come to find out, all of them know it except me. And once he decided to close the buffet, when he did decide that it was going to be closed, that lady coming trying to show me her menus. I told her, I don't want to see your menus. I said, I don't cook by nobody's menu. I got my own menu.
I'm sorry. Would that be enough? For him to say, Miss Byrd, I'm sorry. Would that be enough for you?
Not to go back. I ain't never going back.
And you shouldn't.
No.
And you shouldn't. Because that's one thing that, you know, I think they fail to realize when they do stuff like that, and they feel that all they can do is, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
I don't take I'm sorry.
And I'm glad you don't, Miss Byrd.
That don't work.
I'm glad you don't. When you gave the news to your family members, how did they feel about it?
Well, see, they already knew it because they had left the Sunday before. And because when he told us, you know, they didn't come that week because he had already told us we wasn't going to have the buffet. The last day they came was when, I mean, it was just people on top of people, and they said, we're trying to get this last day in since this is the last buffet.
And generally, on the buffet Sundays, correct? How many people would come in there? From what time to what time? How many people would come in?
Starting from 11:30 to 3:30.
And we're looking at how many people?
It was, well, even on a slow day, it was always over 100. Even on a slow day. But most of, you know, it was by time, because of COVID and we started it back and everything, it was picking up. You know, it just take time because a lot of people don't know it.
Well, prior to COVID, we're looking at maybe 200.
Well, sometime, because most of the church groups eat there. and then all the Caucasian people would eat there. That's been eating with me for many years.
Have you had people to reach out to you and let you know how much they miss you from working out there?
Oh, they tell me that all the time.
How that make you feel?
But it's the ones in the golf shop, because I was friends with all of them in the golf shop. Every last one of them, plus the golfers. And yeah, they'd love to see me back.
Now, when you say golfers, so you're saying the men would come in the mornings and eat breakfast with you, lunch with you?
Yeah, sandwiches. Like I say, on Saturday I did gravy and stuff, but on Sunday I had to do just sandwiches, and through the week I only did sandwiches. So yeah, they came and ate the sandwiches, but they told me they was gonna start going to Hardee's or somewhere.
Wow.
Before they even come down there to play golf.
So you go,
I don't know.
So the golfers now go from eating a home fixed sandwich or meal to Hardee's. Make that money, Hardee's. That's all I can say is make that money.
That's what they said. Because I had this special little group of golfers that ate with me for all them years, and they was real queer. You had to know how to fix their food. That's why they would come in and ask, was I there? If they said I wasn't there, then they didn't eat.
Did management know this?
I'm not sure.
See, that's bothersome. If management didn't know or did know, let's say management knew that golfers was coming in specifically because of you, you don't get rid of the person that's helping you pay the bills.
Well, see, one thing what happened, this lady that he hired as a chef, she was always in his ear telling him how much more money he could make if he do this and do that. But that's not true. That's not true. She even her nighttime it got slow. She did the food at night, like steaks and burgers and stuff like that. Cause I'd look at the tickets. Sometimes it wouldn't be but about 15 or 20 tickets on that thing.
I just wonder how business is going.
I'm telling you how it's going. They had 13 people Easter.
Easter Sunday, 13 people.
And Mother's Day coming up this Sunday. It's going to be interesting. I tell you the last Mother's Day, you won't believe how many I had. The last Mother's Day.
150? 200? 300? 400? Come on, Miss Byrd.
450. See, we went in seating one, so they had so much time to eat, and seating two, and then seating three. That was the only way we could feed all of them.
You had to be exhausted that day.
Cooking don't make me tired.
It's just your passion. You love to do it.
Yeah.
Just love to do it.
Yeah.
Well, Miss Byrd, I appreciate you for telling your story with us. I hope the better of the best comes from you letting everyone know, not just Cleveland County, all the surrounding counties. Because I'm sure there's a lot of golfers and a lot of people from other counties
it is.
that come here to eat.
Yeah.
But I hope they see this and help make a noise to change the bigotry, the racism, the wrongdoing. One thing before we end, one thing I wanted to say, because you had said something to me earlier. It was about something that happened. And I made a comment to you, and I said, it sounds like you were more of the problem solver there than management was.
Yeah.
So it sounded like you should have been the management versus the management that was management.
Yeah, but I wouldn't take that. I love the kitchen. When I got out of high school, I could have went to CCA because I took typing and everything, but I did not want a job sitting down. I went to cooking, and that's what I did all these years.
Wow.
I just love to cook, and it don't tire me out. My pot's about that big.
That's a t-shirt for you. I just love to cook, Miss Byrd. I just love to cook. Look, the smile on your face.
Yeah, I love to cook. And then I made all the cakes on Saturday. That's another thing. I made all the dessert. All the cakes and stuff.
I'm not really sure when the first time it was when I had your cooking, but I know the last time I had your cooking was at your grandson's wedding. I was your grandson's best man.
Yeah, that's right.
And I mean, I wanted more. and I should have cared about but to Dear Brook at the time and got more. But Miss Byrd, I hope the better of the best comes from this, and people that sees it, you know, pushes the outreach of doing better and maybe connecting you. If they can't get back connected with Dear Brook, connect you to where you can find another home in that kitchen and call that home.
Yeah. Well, I got it in mind, if not, because his lease is not supposed to run out to not this July but next July, and I'm gonna go ahead and help Pastor Roseburg now. If for some reason that he gonna be there the whole time his lease is, then I'm taking the job just as soon as they get finished.
Well, Miss Byrd, thank you so much for inviting us in and expressing, you know, the hardship of what happened over there. And I mean, for anyone, it's always hard to leave a job that, you know, you've been there and you call home. You're home away from home. So you're gonna find that new home away from home, and I feel you're gonna enjoy it.